Yeah, and I know that prior background that we like to talk to tribes, nation of Pueblos. We walk them through a SWOT analysis, discovering what their strengths are and their weaknesses and opportunities and threats. And I know just hearing your story that some of the strengths internally with the tribe is that there was already a billing system set up, and you use that resource with the tribes, and so talk a little bit about internal departments and leveraging that to make this successful.
Right. So in the beginning, so I'm the IT director for the Coeur tribe. And so when I wrote this grant, I created a program underneath the tribal IT department called broadband. And it didn't have a name, Red Spectrum, yet. It was just called the broadband program. But initially we made the decision to build this program to provide services to both tribal government and also to residents at large. I mean, that was a decision up front, and we made a decision to start charging people from the get-go as customers, because if you don't charge them in the beginning, you try to charge them later, they're going to get mad. They're not going to pay. So you need to have that pricing structure. And the pricing structure we came up with was just basically looking across the fence and seeing what the neighbors were doing. What's Verizon doing, what's the other providers doing, and we built our pricing model based on what is around us. And so
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, that leads into the next question is sustainability. It's super important for long-term success. So how do you balance offering affordable services to your community and tribal members while maintaining the financial health of an ISP?
um I'm always watching what the average revenue per user is and the number of users and our take rate and who do we have as our customer base. I'm really lucky partnerships. I'm really lucky to also have in my department a GIS program. And so in our GIS program, we know all the locations of where everyone lives on the reservation, and I can overlay our customer base and see who we have and who we don't have and know how to target those areas. And I also need to know the number of people that I need, the number of customers I need to have in order to sustain my network. And if I start dipping below, I either need to figure out a way to grow more revenue or I need to cut costs.
Excellent. Many other tribal communities are considering forming their own ISPs. What are some key lessons or best practices that you would share from your experience? And are there things that you wish you would have known before you started?
Key practices. I want to say hidden gotchas.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fun industry to be in, but if you melt in the rain and you can't climb towers, or you don't like being in heights, if you're building a wireless ISP, for instance, or if you don't like digging ditches, there are certain things that this industry is not for everyone. So you have your outside plant people who are digging the ditches and hanging the aerial cable and splicing, and then you have well, I do my wireless and fiber installers. They just go out and do nothing but install all day. Then I have a locator who goes out there and locates all the fiber when people are doing construction. Call before you dig. We have, I say, about 130 miles of fiber. So he's going along the lines locating so people don't dig up our fiber. Then we have our network operations center, which I have a broadband operations manager and a network administrator. And then I have my customer service. Then I have my person who's helping with ACP and Lifeline and low income. Then I have
Yeah.
my billing manager. Who I don't have is an accountant, and that's a weakness right there. I don't have an accountant that I can walk down the hall and say, "Hey, help me with this" or whatever. So I've had to outsource that. So here in the Inland Northwest, there's several tribes that we all get together, and that's the Inland Northwest Tribal Broadband Coalition, the Coeur d'Alene Tribe, the Kbps, the Spokanes, the Showbands, the Nez Perce, the Kalispels. So what we all do is we all get together and we discuss ways that we could, share resources maybe, or, share strengths and weaknesses where maybe they're missing something and I know it, or I'm missing something and they know it. So we've discussed the idea of possibly sharing an accountant amongst us, because I don't think we all need a full-time accountant, but those are just things to think about.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. I didn't even know that was going on, but definitely collaboration with other tribes, and that's part of our philosophy is well is working with your partnerships and other tribal members or tribal entities that are doing it to learn and listen to their challenges and how they overcame those. And it's that's amazing. That's awesome to hear that. Well, Valerie, thank you for your time and to share your insights and experiences. Thank you for your work in what Coeur tribe is doing. It's truly inspiring and provides an excellent model for other tribal communities. We really appreciate your time and expertise.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you to everyone watching this session. Stay tuned for more conversations and workshops as we continue to support tribal communities in building and sustaining their own ISPs.